Well, we've told you now for a couple weeks that these are huge, monumental games here down the stretch. Well, this week is no different for the 6-3 Southern Illinois Salukis going on the road to the Fargo Dome to take on another top 15 opponent. That's also 6-3. Alongside Mike Trude, I am Luke Martin. Mike, this is a North Dakota State team where the Bison fans are upset that they've lost to every Dakota school so far this year, but still on paper, a really good North Dakota State team awaits.
Yeah, they're used to winning national championships, and if they don't get to the title game, then they consider it a bad season, but they're in the top 5 categories in the NCAA in a lot of really important categories: scoring defense, scoring offense, rushing defense, all those things that teams like to do that gives them an opportunity to win games. They just haven't won the biggest games that they've needed to.
A couple of the biggest differences is most of their leading rushers in the majority of their games have been from the quarterback spot. Cam Miller and Cole Payton, two very capable guys who can, one, sling it, but two, very dangerous with their feet.
Yeah, it's not very often for a North Dakota State team that their quarterback is also their leading rusher. And Miller is their leading rusher, obviously, as well as their leading passer. He's accumulated 19 touchdowns on the year, 9 on the ground. They have 4 other rushers who carry the ball quite a bit. So you have to look at film on 5 different guys in the backfield.
You look at Zach Mathis, he is so lengthy, so athletic, their top receiving target by a mile. He is somebody that, even though the Saluki defense has had success against #1 receivers, he's going to be one that they're going to have to be keeping an eye on.
Yeah, 37 receptions on the year, 5 touchdowns. He and the tight end, Joe Stoffel, have the other 5 touchdown catches. So a very, very good duo, and Stoffel's not even their second leading receiver, but the tight end spot is a position that they've thrown to for years and years.
Well, you mentioned the defense. Even though the defense is not statistically where they have been, which is #1 in the country for most of those spots, they've still had outstanding defensive play. Logan Kopp, he leads them in tackles, second in interceptions with 3. Only 1 behind in terms of interceptions. The leader in interceptions, Cole Wisniewski. Well, guess what? He's second in tackles, so their top 2 come from that linebacker spot.
And Wisniewski leads them with interceptions with 4, so he's a hawk for the ball as well. Defensively, really, really good. They like to get after you at all those positions. They're pretty good on the defensive line as well. They're just a really, really good overall team that, for their fans, have underperformed this year.
One of the areas which every game you can look at and know it's going to be an important part, and that is the turnover margin. Last week, it was the first game this year where SIU did not force a turnover. The games North Dakota State has lost this season, they've turned it over 5 times combined with not forcing any turnovers. There are many factors in a game, but this one, in terms of turnover margin, could really flip it between 2 teams that are pretty even.
Yeah, without question. And you're playing in the Fargo Dome, a place that the Salukis have never won. It's likely to be close to a sellout, so it's going to be noisy as all get out. That and false start penalties against the offensive line can get you behind the chains, which is a position that we know the Salukis have not done well from this year, as they're just above 30% in third down conversion, where North Dakota State is 50% or above in third down conversions.
These are areas where we focus on, fans focus on, the coaches to an extent can't totally make this a really big deal this weekend. But Mike, 7 wins, you're going to be nervous at the end of the year trying to get into the playoffs. 8 wins, you're in. Both of these teams, 2 games left. That's why this game is massively important for both.
Yes, a 7th win, especially if it's against North Dakota State on the road, should put the Salukis into the playoffs. A win for North Dakota State gives them their 7th win against a team that is ranked higher than them currently in the poll that the Missouri Valley Conference uses. So to say that this is probably game 1 of the playoff season for both teams, I don't think is an understatement.
It should be a fun one tomorrow in the Fargo Dome. Kickoff will be 2:30. Which means our pregame coverage will begin at 1:30 across the Saluki Radio Network, wherever you decide to listen to us. So until tomorrow from Fargo, for my partner Mike Trude, I am Luke Martin. Go Dogs.